Here's a week of dinners as a foodie who loves to eat out and is married to a man who also loves to eat out. We left off last Sunday going to ramen with some family where I got a bowl of ramen with some pork belly. Then on Monday night, we went to one of our favorite Mexican eateries and I got some enchiladas. They were carne asada enchiladas with green sauce and they ended up being way spicier than I thought. And it came with two sides. I got a side salad and pinto beans. I also had a few bites of Dylan's quesadilla and let him have some of my enchiladas. On Tuesday night, Dylan was out of town, so I had a leftover Ike sandwich. This was a Philly cheesesteak paired with some cucumbers and grapes, and that was really just a warm-up because I was going over to BJ's to get their spooky bazooki. This was a little mommy and me date night. I took Maggie and it was so much fun. And the bazooki is only like $5 because they have a deal every Tuesday on their bazookies. On Wednesday, I was doing a day where I only eat pumpkin flavored things, so for dinner I made pumpkin ravioli from Trader Joe's. I was going to make a brown butter sage sauce, but I just put butter into a pan and I don't know if it ever got brown, and I also didn't have any sage, so I just kind of had some buttered ravioli with some broccoli. On Thursday night, Dylan was coming back home from his little trip, and so I was still on my own and I made dino nuggets. I paired it with some Annie's mac and cheese and some broccoli. That was me dancing around the kitchen. I was so excited for him to come home and for us to get back to having meals together. On Friday, I had some moms over for a little hangout and I made this little pumpkin spread. And then when Dylan got home from work, we went out to dinner. We went to Cafe Rio. I went with my go-to tonight, which is a barbacoa salad. If you guys have asked what kind of dressing I get, and I always get their creamy cilantro dressing with this. And then when you're like halfway done with the salad, you wrap it up into a big old burrito. On Saturday, we had a 6-month-old birthday party for Maggie and all of her friends that she made. This was put together by one of the moms and she did such a good job with all these snacks. So over the course of the party, we had so many fun little appetizers, and then afterwards for dinner, we went to Chick-fil-A and I kept it simple with some chicken nuggets and french fries dipped in barbecue sauce. And then Sunday night was the best night. We went down to the beach because we were doing family photos, and guys, they turned out so cute. I can't wait to share. But afterwards, to make it a fun special event, Dylan and I decided to get a fancy dinner down by the water. This was an upscale Mexican restaurant, which is unlike what we normally do. We shared some seafood empanadas, which were absolute fire. And then for our main dish, we shared this platter that came with carne asada, a lobster enchilada, and a chimichanga. And we got to see the sunset over the water. It was stunning. And then we stopped at Gelato. It's one of my favorite gelato places ever. It's down in Laguna Beach if you're ever in the area. And we shared a cone that had banana, cookie dough, and chocolate hazelnut.